is a social project created for Nigeria because we believe in the future. We know that changing a nation is not by just, addressing structure and all of that. We also need that. A nation changes when you change people. Good morning. I want to say special thanks to the Almighty God for 2016 National Youth Summit. I want to thank our government under the leadership of our president for creating the enabling environment, because without peace, there is no way we can come here. A war has been raging to give us protection and security in this country. I don't want to be a citizen of any other country. I love my country. I'm proudly a Nigerian, and I don't mind telling you, as I travel around the world, I represent my country well. Appointed or not, I'm an ambassador of this nation. There are three major institutions that help to shape people, and then they throw them into the society, and then they begin to affect things. Our politicians, both the good and the bad, including the corrupt ones, we did not import them from Iraq. We didn't import them from DRC Congo, where there is war. They were born here, but every child is born pure, good, nice. But there is a principle of nature and nurture. As people grow, the environment, the people that train them, the kind of values they put in them, decides what they become. Now we have some of our young people now that are carrying arms. Almost every part of the country, there is unrest. In the northeast, our war is with terrorism, extremism. In north central, we have cattle rustlers or cattle railers, problems everywhere. In northwest, we have another set of problems with another type of, extremism. Southwest have become the hub of kidnapping and armed robbery. That's what is going on now. Southeast is agitation for secession. South, militancy. Where is the one place that is safe? And there are young people, and they are dying. And these kids were sent here by God with a purpose, with a future. Some of them, if they have been born in US, they will have ended up Bill Gates, senators. Some of the people, you will be reading their books. But there are certain things in the environment that now shape people. People are 30% nature, 70% nurture. Parenting. So when we talk about institutions that shape people, the top is the family, parents. And you may have come through a situation where you didn't get the best for your parents. We are not teaching you to blame your forebears or your parents. We're not teaching you to be responsible. When you raise your own kids, don't raise problems for our nation. It's from the home. You control most of the things that our security agencies, police, EFCC will rather be pursuing people for. The second is the religious institutions, the church, the mosque, and other religious institutions. I'm not going to bother about African traditional religion. I'm not going to bother about any other stuff. I'm concerned about monotheistic religions who believe in one God, who believe that He is that one God that created human beings and that He made human beings in His image. That God, that is the Creator God, has certain values He is known for. He is just. He is trustworthy. He is dependable. He is not corrupt. He is holy. He is compassionate. He is also merciful. He is also gracious. He is generous. He gave us our oil resources. He gave us our solid minerals. He gave us a beautiful country. He gave us our mountains and valleys, our tourist attractions and potentials, which is one of the undeveloped potential of this country. There are billions of dollars in tourism. He made us a beautiful people. Nigerians are resilient people. At one time it was written, and is this international community, that they are among the happiest people on earth. They say we have all kinds of problems, but they can't understand how people can still be happy and resilient in the midst of all this. We are a good people. We are beautiful people. The problem is not with God. He created us right. He also created us diverse, because the strongest nations on earth, the most advanced nations on earth, have multi-racial context. Look at United States. Africans help to build. Chinese, Indians, Muslims, Arabs, Europeans, plus the original people that were in that land. The Indians, the Red Indians. The same thing. Every country that goes very far is built by diversity. The diversity of Nigeria is our strength. Let me show you 7 core things that will help this country move to the promised land. I'm calling upon us to imbibe these values. They are not human creation. They are not human ideas. You know, the amazing thing about what I'm about to show you is found in the first 12 books of Genesis, the book of Genesis. All the 3 monotheistic religions agree that it's God that made man. They all agree that it was Adam that started the human race. They all agree on this stuff. They are called divine institutions. Institutions that God established. Divine institutions are God's principles for the preservation of the human race, for the preservation of any society. Wherever they are observed and practiced, those nations create such a beautiful and enabling environment where everybody can prosper and develop. Wherever they are observed and practiced, the hidden potentials of those nations emerge. Wherever they are ignored and violated, they create so much pain, they create so much degradation, and they take people backward. They hinder the potential of the people. When God finished creating man, he put these things in motion as a way to preserve the social order as it is now. Some of them were put in there before man fell. Others were put in after the fall of man as a corrective measure to the wide expression of the fallen human nature, the excesses, because we all have that tendency to be wild. Those excesses because of the fall of man. The first of this divine institution is the sanctity of human life. I want to see if I can give you 7 of them fast. The sanctity of human life. I will show you a scripture in Genesis chapter 9. I'll read from verse 2. He said, the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hands they are delivered. Do you know why animals see us, they run? Why they respect us? It's God that put that in. Why they don't think that we are just one of them? It's human beings that are thinking they are animals. The animals don't believe that. Do you know that even the ones that are wild, even lions, if he meets a human being first, he pulls back first? Actually, since the fall of man, the ones we now call wild animals have the capacity to attack human beings. And you will see what God said about it here now. Look at the next verse. Every moving thing that liveth up shall be meat for you. That's why we eat meat, even as a green herb, all the green vegetation and all that. But the flesh with the life, which is the blood in it, you shall not eat. What is saying here, if you eat meat, remove the blood, pour it. Of course, God gave this, you can imagine, as at the time of the beginning of mankind. Long before they now discovered that all the bacteria, when you are sick, what test do they normally do? Blood test. You know whatever is wrong with you that is making you, it's in your blood. So when somebody is that, he just transferred infection from one host to another. I don't care what you believe, whether you are practicing African traditional religion and you believe in drinking blood. Now, recently we had the issue of Ebola. You know what implication of that. And then Ebola is not the only virus flying around on the earth. We have yellow fever, we have Lassa fever, we have all kinds of things going on. And they're all blood carried. Now, the other time now, we have seen the one about HIV. Okay, verse 5. Watch. Surely your blood of your lives will I require. Now, he's talking about human life, human blood. Watch now. He has left animals. He's now addressing mankind, human life. He said, the blood of your life will I require at the hand of every beast. Will I require it? What this means is that God created this animal. He knows that there are some are wild. But what he's saying is that once an animal has killed or tested human blood, kill it. Why? Once he tests it, a boundary has been broken. He's going to go for more. If he escapes into the bush, in those days, they will commission hunters to go after it until they bring it down. Because if they don't, he's going to return back to the village. He's going to look for more. He's going to look for more babies and eat. He's going to look for more human beings and attack. God was putting a boundary, a protection on human life, human blood, human life. He said if it's an animal that crosses that boundary and kills a human being, kill that animal. From the hand of every beast I will require man's blood. Then he now said, at the hand of every man, and the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. That's why all civilized nations and all nations that develop put capital punishment on murder. And even when it's not full capital punishment, they give you maximum sentence. Because where human life is not valued, where human life is not protected, that is a jungle. That's like the wild, where the tigers can wake up and eat the cattle. That's what we have created, that kind of society. That's not where you raise children. That's why you want to take your own kids and run away to another place where they have learned these values. The number one divine institution is the sanctity of human life. And God said, any human being that kills another human being, I will require the life, that blood of that man for his hand. And you know, he gave a reason for that. Verse 6, he said, for in the image of God. He said, whosoever shedded man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man. Who you kill a human being, you just killed a God. You kill a human being, you just killed the image of God. He made man in his image. That's what makes us different from animals. The first value that this country needs to learn is that life is sacred. Life of every child, life of every youth, life of every Nigerian. Including life of your enemies, including life of your political opponents. You don't assassinate somebody because it's in another party.
Yes, it's still live at International Conference Center for the National Youth Summit. Today is the third day and the grand finale of this summit. The first day was amazing, the second day mind-blowing, and today, wow. I don't know what else to say. I can see a lot of delegates here trying to take pictures, having fun. Some will be coming on the green carpet to have fun. We are just on a short break before the Unity concert itself starts. We've got likes of Samsung, Mr. Steve, Jay Martins that will be gracing our stage. Where else would you be at this point in time on a Saturday? You should be at International Conference Center. Let's go on the short break. I'll be back. Tell me, how's it been so far? This is your first time at National Youth Summit?
No, this is my second year actually.
Alright, so how was the first one? 2016, I guess?
2015. We still did 2016.
What's wrong with me? I think I want to even... am I taking us backward or forward?
Forward.
Okay, 2015.
Yeah.
So how was it last year?
Last year was good. The energy, the turn up was amazing. That was my first time on the National Youth Summit. I've been hearing about it, you know, so I participated, registered, and performed, and it was great. You know, so that give more light into my music career and acceptance. So a lot of people get to know me and stuff. So it was great. So.
Okay. So how about this year? What would you say about this year?
This year is good. Like every year, National Youth Summits keep getting better, keep getting bigger. People all over the country and beyond come around to participate in the National Youth Summit. So this year is great. The turn-up was quite bigger than last year. And the patience that everybody gets, is stay in the hall till evening and the all dispatch, you know, that's more discipline coming into young people. You know, so it's great. So the things we've learned so far, at least I learned one important thing I will not forget. Nigeria is my motherland. No, my fatherland.
It's your motherland, actually. You can imagine.
The life that I live right now is not mine. You know, somebody's life is inside of me, so I gotta live it. I live at me now. I'm positively though. You know, so I love being on stage. That's my fulfillment. That's my joy. Anytime I have the opportunity to express myself, stage is my thing. Stage is my place. I feel like sleeping there and I'm turning up. It's your boy Temper Rap, aka Ghost Oracle, aka Fire in My Bones, aka Speaking Tongues, aka Onyeniku, and you are live at the Green Carpet National Youth Summit 2016, 2017. Count and make sure you be there next year. Changing Africa, changing the world. The future belongs to us. Temple, what's up? Let's go. Peace.
Nigerians need to understand that life is sacred. Let me take it one step further. A human being is not just flesh that you see. There is a spirit being inside that body. When you kill a person, you only kill the body. The spirit comes out, the same person, looking like the one you think you eliminated. You have not yet eliminated the man, but they now go into the spiritual world and they will cause bitter problems for you. Is it my own thought idea? Let me show you. The first murder was committed. The first two brothers, Cain and Abel. One lured his brother into the bush and killed him. You see what started with the fall of man. This is how this hard-heartedness and wickedness, that's where it started. Man's inhumanity to man. Meanwhile, it was his brother. Do you know that irrespective of all these tribes, we came from one man? His name is Adam. Irrespective of language and culture, we came from one blood. Now Genesis chapter 4, and Cain talked to Abel his brother. It came to pass that when they were in the field, Cain rose up against Abel and slew him, killed him. Okay, by now he should now be happy. I've eliminated my opponent. There was issue of jealousy. But watch what happened, the next verse. And God said to Cain, where is Abel your brother? He said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of your brother's blood cried to me from the ground. I thought you have killed him. He is gone. No, God Almighty now said in the spirit, his blood is crying to me. And what is he crying? Vengeance. Vengeance. I read the book of Enoch, and it was reported that the blood of Abel was asking for 1,000 generations of Cain's descendants to suffer for what they did. Now I want you to know, this blood that we are shedding in the northeast, in south, in southeast, in southwest, these are problems that we are creating for this nation that contractors will not be able to solve. The whole money in World Bank will not be able to rebuild what we are creating. You think if you kill the person because you don't like him, you have solved the problem. You have created a problem that your generations after you will not be able to solve. You eliminated the body, but now the spirit is crying to the one, the Almighty God. He couldn't appeal to the Supreme Court. He couldn't appeal to the appeal court. He's now calling to the court of the universe for vengeance, and that God is just, so he's going to grant him justice. Look at the next verse. He now said, Cain, for what you did to your brother, now you are cursed from the ground. Okay, it was just a person I killed. Now it's affecting the ground. It's affecting the society. It's affecting the nation. It's affecting even the atmosphere. He said, you are cursed from the ground, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood for your hand. When you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield to you her strength. Okay, you are a farmer. You are a businessman. When you go and put labor, you won't get back what you invest. You won't get back. The ground is supposed to yield productivity. Whether my ground is business, my ground is education, my ground is, see this blood that we are shedding. If we don't learn what I'm talking about, many of these parts of the country, it doesn't matter if you like borrow all the money from the World Bank, you won't be able to rebuild it. The ground, there are forces now rising from the ground, militating against development, militating against advancement, it will cripple the potentials of the people there. Curse instead of blessing, curse. And from the ground, that's opened our mouth to receive your brother's blood. When you till the ground, you won't get the productivity you're supposed to get. Then he now spoke to the man himself. It's not just the ground that is affected. You can, he said, a fugitive and a vagabond you shall be in the earth. You will just be wandering. Anything you try, it won't work. Anyone you try. Do you know the consequences of bloodshed? This nation needs her conscience to be awakened. When you kill an innocent man because he set up a hospital around you, a hospital that is serving your community, you get envious, you kill him. Or he set up a business around you, or you kill him. Or because you don't like his tribe, or you don't like his tongue, you kill him. Or you kill a white man, you think because he's a white man, he came to work here, you kill him. You have invited termites in their trillions into your house.
All right, people, this is Mr. Steve, your own boy, and we're still here at the carpet of the National Youth Summit organized by the Golden Heart Foundation. And standing with me here is an entrepreneur par excellence, a man that have received several awards for his impact in the lives of young people. And he has been part of the National Youth Summit, Mr. Isaac Balami. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. What drives me the fact that as an aviator, this is my 7th year as the national president for aircraft pilots and engineers. Having traveled to different parts of the world, coming back to Nigeria again to see us in this condition, I feel is not acceptable. But again, we can't achieve it by just lamenting. The best thing to do is to see how we can begin to add value, to begin to talk to ourselves so that we can get to the promised land. Where we are is not where we are supposed to be. But yes, we found ourselves in this position. And the only people that can make it happen is the young people.
Is the young people?
Well, the Nigerian Rebirth Foundation is a national platform that is already going into partnership with the Golden Heart Foundation because they're doing a phenomenal job. And we're very, very happy about that. And of course, they said iron sharpened iron. So we have the Oni of Ife fully on board, most of the royal fathers. The wife of the president is the grand patron of our NGO. We also have the former IG of police, is the chairman of the governing board. And with this, with over 100 vibrant volunteers for the past 3 years. Now with these people, we want to see how we can now partner with the Golden Heart Foundation to ensure that we deliver value to this nation, because it's long overdue. What they're doing is, I mean, in this hardship where there's no money around, bringing, thousands of youths to ICC, Abuja, taking care of them, ensuring that there are different sessions going on, bringing resource persons. I mean, it's not cheap. And it's only an NGO that believes in this nation that will do this. Because most NGO has gone to sleep now, waiting for when the government will begin to release money.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right, sir, thank you so much.
But before we wrap up today, I'm going to ask our panelists to leave one word of counsel. If there is one word, assuming somebody here is not going to be back to this summit next year, he's never going to be back again, maybe because he's going to leave the shores of this nation and be gone for a long time. If this is going to be your last time meeting with the ladies and gentlemen who are in this auditorium, what will be that one word you're going to leave with him or her?
I want you to leave this session today thinking, what do I believe? What do I believe about opportunities? If you believe that opportunities abound everywhere, you will find them.
Thank you, sir.
The best thing you can leave from this place are not your notes. They are the things you are committed to doing. For the rest of this conference, stop writing notes. Start writing action points.
Wow.
My last word again is to let you know that the doors of Central Bank of Nigeria are always open for you, and that is true. So I will advise you, number one, drop every form of negative mindset, because that's usually the problem we have. By the time you hear you say it's government thing is not working, it's working. I embrace a positive mindset. Tell yourself, if others are benefiting, I will benefit. And that's the way to go. When your mindset is right, every other thing will fall into place and your dream will be made a reality. Thank you.
You know, my view, having been at the National Youth Summit for a couple of years now, has not changed. My view is that money is not your problem. My view is you are your problem. If money is your problem, It's because you don't know how to attract money. And let me tell you how to do that. You have to build something of value with what you have, and then leverage that to attract money that will help you scale. The starting point is what you have. Now, in terms of action points, this is my advice. Start with what you have and make it work. Demonstrate that you have the capacity and the ability to bring a dream into reality with what you have. The resourcefulness to make little go far. If you really have nothing, and that means you don't even have an idea that you can start with what you have, why don't you work with somebody who has a dream, who is doing what I've asked you to do in the first step, and try and catch something?
Wow.
Try and catch something. Try and understand how people make things work, because you might think it is impossible, but that's because you don't know how. Find somebody that is attempting and trying, and catch something.
One word I want to leave you with is responsibility. Responsibility. You must tell yourself you are responsible for your life. You are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for the way people treat you, for the way you relate with people. Even the things we think that is not going right in the country, take responsibility. You have a role to play. Develop a no excuse attitude. Don't accept excuses. It doesn't matter how sweet, how comfortable it is, and how it defends your own action. Do not accept excuses, starting with yourself. If you don't make excuses why things are not working well for you, then that is your first step towards succeeding. Thank you.
Thank you.
You see, the second major institution God established after life is human freedom and dignity. If you want to lead people, serve them. You see how Globacom rule your world, not by suppressing us, but by providing us service. One of the best airlines in Nigeria is IRIC. It's IRIC that's conquering Nigeria, not by suppressing the people, killing the people, by providing what? Service. Do you want to have dominion? Do you want to rule your world? The secret: respect human liberty, human freedom. Respect. Let me give you an example. God wants morality to reign on the earth, but he left it at the level of choice. For example, those who are Christians understand that God wants every man to be saved. He doesn't want anybody to go to hell. But why wouldn't he ask those who evangelize and save soul to take weapons, take sword, take bomb, and go and subdue the whole earth? Because he put an institution about human freedom where he gave man the right to determine his destiny, but gave him another law that after he makes up his choice, he exercises his power of volition, he faces the consequence. So he gave him the right to choose between good and bad. You have freedom. Your freedom stops where another man's freedom begins. Respect other people. And you notice that any society where the government understand the issue of human dignity, issue of human freedom, and they respect it as government, it becomes a free society. People want to go there. If somebody has done something, you get him to the court, let him face justice, because that's the purpose of the court, to make sure that if you choose the forbidden fruit, that there are consequences. But where society goes against this, they create a dictatorial society where nobody wants to live, everybody wants to run away from it. Do you know what is called social contract that creates our constitution? It's a contract that is created between government and the citizens. Inside it, there are certain things, laws guiding the citizens on how to behave, how to treat each other. If they violate it, you can ask for justice from the court. But one of the things that you have in every social contract is to protect the citizens from their government, and also to protect our public office holders from the citizens. Do you know what that means? If our president is passing and I'm driving, I clear for him. You know why? He's the number one public servant. All this running around he's doing is for me. It's for every citizen. So I clear for him, I allow him to go. When I see the police that are pursuing armed robbers, I clear. You don't think that I enjoying executive privilege? If you block the traffic, the armed robber escapes and our problem continue. If I see ambulance running, I clear. You know why? Tomorrow it might be you that will have accident. You want them to get you to hospital fast. That's why those things are created. There are services. These privileges are not given to them so they can now oppress people and take away their freedom. These are the things you need to address, because I see you, senators are here listening to, I see presidents that are here listening to me, governors. When God brings you there, you don't go there to put your people in bondage. You provide them what is called servant leadership, service. You will go down in memory as one of the greatest leaders that ever rose in that state, that local government, that country, or whatever. Those are the kind of leaders we admire. That's why you talk about Martin Luther King Jr., you talk about Mandela, you talk about Gandhi, you talk about our founding fathers. Those are the kind of leaders who rendered national service using their platform, their power, their office they were given. Then as citizens, as we exercise our role, some of you are managers, employers of labor, what do you do to the people that come to work for you? You turn them into slaves. You take away their rights. You force the girls to sleep with you. You are doing the same thing that Idi Amin did. You are doing the same thing that Hitler did. You are using power and position to violate human freedom, human rights and dignity. You abuse somebody's child because he needs a job, she needs a job, and they have to come and work for you. You don't need to teach a child to do evil. You don't need to teach a child to cheat his brother and collect his brother's toy. Nobody taught Cain how to kill Abel. He said evil, mankind don't need to be taught. It's innate since the fall of man. But good, people have to be taught. People have to be taught to respect elders. People have to be taught integrity. People have to be taught respect for their fellow men's rights. People have to be taught to treat their wife right, to treat their husband well. People have to be taught to be ethical. People have to be taught to be hardworking. He said, I created the family as the first school so that parents can raise their children. Children need to be taught. They come here clean, pure. They need to me that created you and worship me. But if you choose not to, that your choice has consequence. At the end of the day, you and the devil will share one republic, and he will be your president forever. And you will tell me, you will cry forever, get me out of here. Send me to a land of freedom, a land of love, a land of compassion, a land of goodwill, and you will not get a second chance. May the Almighty God bless his holy word. May he bless you. May he give you wisdom. May he bless our country, Nigeria.
It's a social project created for Nigeria because we believe in the future. We know that changing a nation is not by just, addressing structure and all of that. We also need that. A nation changes when you change people.